rentals in Sapporo. On the one hand, it is quite cheap. On the other hand, it's cheap in comparison with the other cities in Asia. On the other hand, you have to factor in that the yen is quite weak, so local salaries have been stagnant for quite a while, even though the Japanese government, the BOJ, are kind of forging ahead with their somewhat inflationary policies. So we'll do a little review of rental market, of the rental, very surface level, basically just looking at the posted rental rates in a couple of, maybe a few, 3-4 major areas. One has to understand that Sapporo is a very compact city, so basically whatever area you see is going to be pretty easy to access. Almost anything in the city, almost anywhere in the city will be quite accessible. In Sapporo, it's considered far if you are traveling like more than 15 minutes, and it's considered far from the MRT if you are more than 10 minutes walk away from the station. So most of the rental ads will kind of emphasize, oh, it's within 10 minutes, but actually a lot of them are within like even 5 minutes because there's housing clusters. So the bottom line is you're basically never too far from where you need to be or have to be, I think. We will not be looking into Susukino because, actually for no good reason, I just didn't come across any of the Appaman or Able Network or who else out there? Toneguchi Atom shops in the area. For some reason they're not as prevalent here, and actually there's not a whole lot of residential development here either. There are some, not as many. So we'll be looking at primarily Odori, Nishi Odori, Kotoni. Kotoni is also quite popular. I wanted to look at Hiragishi, but I don't think I ended up going there. So, and obviously the Sapporo University area, and obviously we'll throw in a kind of bonus track of Otaru, which we have also already included in the overall Otaru overview. So if anyone's planning on moving to Sapporo for 6 months to a year, a couple of years, maybe do a stint at the Hokkaido University or Sapporo City University, this video will be for you. Just randomly stopped here. These are fairly okay, this is a cheap one, small LDK, 38,000 yen a month. That's quite cheap. Looks like the sizable ones, 3 LDKs, are in the 100 to 130, 150 range. 2 to 3 LDKs. Yeah, in this area. That's not very cheap. Well, small ones are real cheap. Yeah, nice. Generally, I would say the rentals in Taipei are like 3 to 4 times cheaper than in Taipei. I mean, in Sapporo are cheaper than in Taipei. For this kind of money in Taipei, you won't even get a mailbox. Probably. That's like about 10-12,000 NT. Yeah. You might get a bank bed maybe. Once again, I'm at Kitaji Hachijo, North 18th Street area. This is right near the university. University is right over there, 1 block from here. And I come here quite often. I like the area. It's quite walkable. There's lots of coffee shops. And it's not as touristic as Odori or Susukino. And what I'm gonna do is look at some rentals in this area. This looks like a shop for the hanko, the personal seal. Let's have a look. Which are quite essential for living in Japan. Yeah. Shachihata. So basically you get your seal registered at the local prefectural government office. Becomes officially registered. They will take the official imprint. And in Japan, for a lot of transactions, business transactions, they don't really accept signature. It has to be the seal. And if you don't have the seal, basically it's not that easy to function in Japan. Kitaju Hachijo area next to the Hokkaido University. So there's this Able Network rental agency. So let's have a look what they have. The character here is man 10,000. It's like 1 in Mandarin, Chinese, but it's actually they use different character for it, but the meaning is the same. 1 in Mandarin, 1 in Japanese. So 6.5 means 65,000 yen for is it 1 LDK? Yeah. So all of these apartments here are within walking reach of the university. This, I think it's a bit higher, actually quite a bit higher than the rest of the city. There's even one for 100,000 yen. It's a fairly sizable one. 54 and change square meters. That's considered sizable, family unit. But most students, most local students at least, will go for something like 50,000 here, maybe even this little one, 36,000 here. This must be about 20 square meters. Okay, 36,000. So price range for the university area, I think I heard that a lot of the students here are either from mainland China or from Honshu, the main island. So the families are wealthier than the local Sapporo people, and they will rent something like this over 100,000 for their kid. Or maybe like 2 students will get together and rent something together like this huge one. But yeah, I think even these ones are quite popular. It's relatively cheap. Able is one of the major agencies. The other one is Appaman, the one here. and another one is, what's their name, Joniguchi Jog. Let's have a look what Aquaman has to offer next to the university. About same range or slightly pricier, actually quite a lot more expensive. I think they're focusing on the slightly higher end. Yeah, so the cheapest one I can see here is 53. The most expensive 165,000 yen. That's a house or a townhouse. Yeah, 90,000, 62 square meters. 1, 2 LDK. So 2 bedrooms plus LDK, living, dining, kitchen. Sometimes one room is indicated as 1 DK or 1 R meaning just a room. So it's one kind of open concept thing. Usually kind of a pencil box, not very convenient. People try to go for something like 2 LDKs, 3 LDKs in a squarish layout. Recently the trend is renovating the old 3-4 LDKs, removing one of the walls and kind of making a bigger open space, more westernized. This is all in this area around here. Literally 5-minute walk to the Hokkaido University campus. Appaman, dramatic communication. Actually, they're called Attention House. Appaman is their brand. Dramatic communication is their tagline. Rentals in this area. It's quite reasonable despite being close to the university, even though the apartments are small. So you get 36,000 yen, 45,000. So I think that's real cheap. Same here. 50,000 yen. That's about $500 Canadian or Singapore. For $500 Canadian or Singapore, you get a little apartment by the university. What's the size? Size. Can't see the size. So it's a little 1 LDK. So 5 plus 7. About 12 tsubo with the kitchen and bathroom. So this is just shy of 30 square meters. Not huge, but yeah, right next to university. That's pretty good. Here's a slightly better layout, also 55. Still about 500 Singapore or Canadian dollars. 500 a month buys you again about 13 tsubo plus the kitchen and bathroom. So all in all, that's about 15 tsubo. Tsubo is about 3.3 square meters. Wow, this is about 40 square meters. Little place. So one of the challenges that people face when trying to rent or buy in Sapporo or like in any other city in Japan is the lack of parking space. Some condos won't even have it. Some condos will have fewer parking spaces than there's people in the building, so, or units in the building. So these parking spaces attached to the condo are kind of in high demand, usually overbooked. They cost about, for Sapporo, that's about 10 to 12,000 yen a month. The good thing though is there's usually a kind of commercial parking available within walking reach, and it will cost something like this. You can do a monthly deal, but more often it's like nightly offer 1,000 yen a night. So I think what people try to do is they try to find a monthly deal that will cost them something like 15,000 plus minus to avoid this high overnight deal, unless of course they can score a parking spot in their own condo. However, Sapporo being Sapporo, most of the time you don't actually even need transport. There's public transport. So, and from what I found, from my experience here in this 2 weeks so far, another week to go, if you're staying in Odori or Susukino, you don't even need to use the subway as much. Downtown is totally walkable. Another Apaman office, also right next to university, and in this area, so there's a lot of small new small lower-rise condominiums, and our standard 35 unit is renting for like 69,000. That's the expensive one, 39 for 55. Wow, the big, actually about, the big 52 meter for almost 100. That's still LDK. So if we consider 35 meters of standard unit, probably the university is one of the pricier ones as the areas go. This is literally one walk away from the Ginko Alley. This is at the end of the Odori Park. And this is the historical Sapporo courthouse building. I don't think it functions as a courthouse anymore, but nevertheless it's well preserved in a kind of European English/Dutch style. Okay, they do garbage like this. Maison éclairée. Really? Enlightened house. What's this deal with calling literally anything some French name? Let's look at the rentals at in the area. So in summary, the rentals around this area are quite expensive. You'll start from minimum 50,000 for small shoebox apartment. I think it's similar to the Hokkaido University area. The houses are from around 100,000, 130,000 yen a month. But yeah, the smallest places are 50, 54, 55,000. Into 60s you can have a slightly better option, but they're still kind of cramped. Yeah. 50s will be one LDKs or one room essentially, studios like this. Oh, that's 9 tsubo only, 50,000. Yeah, okay. Arriving at Kotoni, the ride from Odori took about maybe 15 minutes. And I'll see what the area is like. There's a couple of railway stations in the area. So confusingly, there are two Kotoni stations. One of them is the MRT station where I am at, of the Tozai line. And the other one is the JR Hakodate mainline station. So can get confused. Wow, it's raining in Kotoni, but it's quite nice, pleasant rain. It's not pouring down. Let's look at the rentals in the area. 3 LDK, 55,000. Okay. 3 LDK, fairly large one. 80 square meters, 100,000 yen. So this is Kotoni area. There's something small. Okay, 1 DK, dining kitchen, 25,000. That's cheap. 21 square meter. It's a little pencil box. Oh, it's a corner suite, so you can get a lot of light at least. It's not dark. Yeah. 34,000 in a 38,000 in a 34 square meter suite. It's like a bachelor apartment. Studio, open design studio. Okay. 37. Okay, so the rents here kind of make sense. Something sizable, obviously, costs you like 50,000 yen. So that's about, how much is that? That's like just shy of 500 Canadian a month. Maybe, yeah, 500 Singapore. Yeah, 250 Singapore. 380, maybe 400 Singapore a month, or Canadian. Singapore would be a smaller amount. And for the actual $1,000 Singapore a month, you get 80 square meters. That's pretty generous. Wow. Okay. Otaru. So this is what I really liked last time. Coming out of the railway station, and you can look right into the waterfront. Let's take that one. I walked down here last time. There's Appaman agency here as well. So we'll look at the rentals. Let's see what the rentals are like in the resort town of Otaru. I think it shouldn't be that expensive. I think it should be about 50, 30, 50, yeah. Tiny little apartments, 38 a month. Okay, that's great. That's great. Fairly sizable for 50. This is a house. Yeah. So you can get a whole house for yourself for like 50,000 yen a month. That's a bit cheaper than Sapporo. Yeah, not bad. Looks like there's fewer condos. Most of them are either very low-rise condos. 21,000. That's real cheap. 9 tsubo. Oh, that's kind of small. Maybe like 20 square meters living space. Most houses looks like very low-rise condos, maybe townhomes, but primarily actual houses, yeah, in varying states of decay.